So yesterday you got a video for math, today I've done another one for writing. This is a really simple way of developing your descriptive sentences. This is just real basic sentence level stuff today, but you can apply this whenever you're writing any kind of descriptive language. So have a look at my examples and see if you can put them to practice in your own writing. So for today's mini lesson, I'm just going to show you some really simple ways that you can develop your descriptive writing. So we're going to start off with a really easy sentence. So I'm going to say, the cat walked along the wall. Okay, so using our understanding of sentence structure, we can see it's a complete thought. It makes sense on its own. We have our subject, the cat, and we have our verb there, which is walked, okay? So the cat walked along the wall. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start thinking about the noun that I've used, okay? Or the nouns, I should say. So I'm going to start off with the cat. Now, could I not be a bit more specific about that cat, maybe? What kind of cats do I know of? Well, maybe I could have a Siamese cat or a Persian cat, perhaps. So I'm going to go with that then. So I'm going to actually get rid of the word cat here, and I'm going to add in the Persian cat. So the Persian cat walked along the wall. Okay, so start off, I looked at the nouns. Now also I can develop the other noun that I have in the sentence, which is wall. So I have the word wall. I'm going to change that. I want to add some more detail to that. So maybe I will have the red brick wall. So I've added two adjectives to develop that noun. Okay, so are my nouns really specific? They weren't to start with, but when I change that to red brick wall, now they are. So the first thing you can do is you can look at the nouns. Are they specific? Are they descriptive in themselves? And if they're not, you can develop those. Okay. The next thing I'm going to have a look at is I'm going to think about adverbs. Now, how did the Persian cat walk along the red brick wall? Maybe it walked quickly. Perhaps it walked slowly. Maybe it walked stealthily, perhaps. So I'm going to go with that second option there. So the Persian cat walked stealthily along the red brick wall. So I'm going to get rid of this word along here so I can add in stealthily. And I'll put along back on there. Okay, so now I've got some more specific nouns. I've added in some adjectives as well to develop more detail there. And I've got my adverb there. Now, the last thing I can do is I can think about this verb as well that I've used. So walked is an okay verb. It works perfectly well. It does the job I want it to. But maybe I could go for something even better. I'm actually going to get another colour here so I can develop that verb walked. Maybe I can think of a better verb. Let's go with a blue pen. So what can I use instead of walked? Maybe I could have crept. Maybe I could have skulked. Maybe I could have the stalked stealthily across the wall. I like the word skulked, so I'm going to go with that one. The Persian cat skulked stealthily along the red brick wall. So you can see I've developed the nouns. I've added in an adverb, and now I've added in my verb. So this is all so far so good. It looks pretty good to me. Now one thing that you may realise when you're working in my class is often I ask you about how you open your sentences. If every single sentence starts with the cat, the Persian cat, every single time, it's going to get a little bit dull. So we could think of a different way to open that sentence. But one really easy fix you can do is if you've got an adverb, that can actually work as a sentence opener. So maybe rather than having stealthily here, I can take it and move it to the beginning. So then all of a sudden my sentence becomes stealthily, the Persian cat skulked along the red brick wall. Now let's remember, we started off with the cat walked along the wall. Now we've got stealthily, the Persian cat skulked along the red brick wall. How much better is that second sentence? It's loads better. So I'm actually going to write it out underneath here so you can see what that should look like. So I've got stealthily, and because I'm using that as an opener, I'm going to put a little comma after it, which means the is going to lose the capital letter because it's no longer at the start of the sentence. Along the red brick wall. So stealthily, the Persian cat skulked along the red brick wall. So that's what that could end up looking like. You can take a really simple sentence, and by thinking about each of those individual words and the job that they're doing, we can make it so much better. So first of all, we started off looking at the nouns and adjectives. Are they specific? Are they clear? Do they add lots of detail for the reader? If not, change them, make them better. Second of all, we thought about how the verb took place. Can we add in an adverb that adds even more detail for the reader and paints an even more clear picture in their head? And then we can think about the verb itself. Is it the best, most specific word you can use? Is there a word that gives an even clearer picture in the reader's head? And then finally, just thinking about how you can change the structure. Not everything needs to start with the or a normal noun or anything like that. Sometimes you can open a sentence with even a simile or an adverb, as we did in our sentence. So there's lots of simple ways for doing it. And what I'd like you to do today is have a think about these next 3 sentences and see if you can develop them using these techniques that we just talked about. So these are the 3 sentences I've given you. The car drove round the parking lot, the girl smiled at her friend, and the singer sang to his family. So have a go at any of those 3 sentences, or all 3, or just one of them, whatever works for you. See if you can develop them using those 4 techniques we just looked at. And by all means, feel free to share them in the comments of the video, or maybe you can send them to me. I look forward to seeing all the amazing writing that you do. Best of luck.